What? Okay. All right. So, hi. All right. Okay. So, I was working, the reason I have a green screen behind me is because I was working on some other projects, and I realized that today was International Women Day, sorry. And I'm a little nervous, in case you can't tell. I don't like the live thing. But I figure I've got to do it sometime, so here we go. I figured late night and not announcing it would help some stuff, help me out. Okay, so I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna get to who I am. All right. So the reason you see a green screen behind me is because I was actually working on some other projects. One of the projects that I was working on was for Richard of Aficionado, and I was tagged on one of his posts in which he's doing a YouTube reefer contest type thing. By the way, the reason I keep looking up and down is because the other goal of this is to see if I can actually go live on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. So we'll see. But anyways, so Richard's post was asking for reefers to do videos in a contest for him. And one of the comments that was on the post was that people would like to see more women doing videos and women in the reefing industry. And so he tagged me because, I'm female and I'm a reefer and seahorse person. Did I mention I'm nervous? Okay. Anyways. Okay, so I started thinking about that and the fact that, I've been to a lot of shows, and typically there aren't many women in a lead position. At MACNA, there were excellent speakers, but I think there was only one woman, and that's not okay to me. Now, I'm not here to bash men. I'm not here to say that I don't get my just, rights or whatever. That's not my point here. All I'm here to do is to honor and give tribute to the women that have really made a difference to me in the reefing and the seahorse industries. So back to the point, and I'm glad no one's here because I don't know that I could keep up with comments too, but this is just a test. So, all right. So Richard did the post. I saw that there weren't many women in the reefing industry. And then I was speaking to Heidi Kim, another YouTuber, who said it bothers her too. Herself and I are 2 of 3 or 4 women that post reef videos or how-to or help videos for anything to do with the reefing industry. Again, that's a problem. I know based on groups and based on posts that there are women doing this, but they're just not out there. They're just not recognized. So, back to the point. My point to this was, in case you thought that people like Melissa and Anne and Jessica of Rod's Food were just pretty pictures or pretty faces, they're not. I've met these ladies at different conferences, at different shows, and they are awesome. They work hard. They work really hard. They all have their own tanks. They all have, input. They all work very hard to help the company and be an inspiration and help people in the reefing industry. So thank you to all of you ladies. Jessica Stam, did I mention her? And Jessica of Fritz Aquatics. This lady came up to me at MACNA and was wonderful. She was so sweet. She was so nice. It was my first conference, and she made me feel right at home. Thank you. You're awesome. Okay, so I wanted to do that, but the reason that I really started to do this broadcast was to honor two women in particular in the seahorse industry. First of all, I want to say people like Cheryl Taylor, Victoria Crow, keep pushing, keep going. You guys are awesome. You're making a difference. Your name will be known, and you're going to make it better for women. You're going to make it better for seahorses. Just keep going. But back to my point. So, seahorsesource.com is a company that I mention constantly, and it's because they sell captive bred seahorses. Sorry, I've been sick. They sell captive bred seahorses, and they are awesome. And their seahorses are healthy, and you can watch my other videos for information about that. But the bottom line is that typically when you think of Seahorse Source, you think of Dan Underwood. And Dan is, of course, awesome. But nobody hears the name Abby Underwood very often. And the thing is, while Dan is out here schmoozing all of us, just kidding, Dan's awesome. But while Dan's out here dealing with us and helping us on the forums, on the posts, and etc., Abby's back there taking care of the seahorses. And they are a partnership and a team, and they're 50-50 and 100%. And the thing is, nobody ever hears Abby's name. And recently, unfortunately, Abby got cancer. And if you go to Dan or Seahorse Source's page, you will see some GoFundMes, and I hope people check that out because she's made such a difference. Oh my gosh, I can't even describe how much she's made a difference. My first phone call to Seahorse Source, I talked to Abby, and she was so kind to me and answered all my questions and helped me. She's on these posts on Facebook, on different, forums, trying to help people. And for some reason, Dan is the one who's always recognized. No harm to Dan because he's awesome, but so is Abby. So I just want to say thank you so much, Abby, for being awesome. And I hope other people go check out the GoFundMes and the page. Okay, so now I'm gonna get more comfortable. Sorry, guys, I'm so not used to the living. And I'm going to talk about what I really wanted to talk about today. And the Seahorse Source and Dan Underwood actually lead into it because it's about the woman that I really, really just find so awesome these days and is so accomplished in the seahorse industry, and that's Alyssa of Seahorse Savvy. Now, when I first decided that I was going to breed seahorses instead of just keeping them, I went to Dan and Abby, and they helped me, of course, and they taught me all of these things. And about halfway through, I said, oh my gosh, this is really hard. I'm not sure I can do this. I'm not sure I want to do this. And he made a comment. He said, yeah, most people won't go to the efforts needed to be a seahorse breeder, a full-time real seahorse breeder. And Alyssa did. And she actually went to Dan when she first started out. I went back on some forums and saw some of her posts when she first started and saw how she, was just like the rest of us. But the difference was she stepped up. She kept going. She didn't stop. She pushed forward. Now not only did she push forward and do the things she was taught, but she learned new things. And now she's an example to all of us. She's an example to women and men. And this woman stepped up and showed us how it's done, basically. She not only convinced wholesalers, vendors, multiple people across the board in the reefing industry, in the seahorse industry, to take her seriously, to understand that she meant business and that she was the business to deal with. And she is a well-known name now. Her company is a well-known name. This is the inspiration, to me, anyways. So, Alyssa, I think you're awesome. Thank you for pushing forward, for making sure that you kept going, even when things, I know personally how hard it is. So, thank you. One other woman I want to mention is Lori Johnson. Now, if you're not on Facebook or Instagram often, you won't know her name. But Lori, Lori hangs with the big boys. She has, Lori, if there's a group on Facebook, she's in it. If there is, good, bad, ugly, any of them. She's in the groups that help people. She's in the groups that are fun. She's in all of the groups that have anything to do with reefing. And she just started a huge tank that most men would cry for. Seriously. She is an awesome female inspiration in the reefing industry. So thank you, Lori. And I'm super uncomfortable with all this, so I'm gonna cut it short, but just testing to see if we can do this on both channels at the same time. I'll probably delete all this, but I hope you women that I mentioned do see it first, because you're awesome. I appreciate you. Thank you. Cheers.